And welcome back to Invest Northwest. Well, big plans and an even bigger future for the Boys and Girls Club of Kootenai County. What is on the horizon? Well, Ryan Davis, Executive Director, Boys and Girls Club of Kootenai County, is my guest to talk about that this morning. Ryan, thanks for being here.
Oh, thank you for having me.
If we can, I'd like to start with just big picture, the current operation in Kootenai County. It was established after Kootenai County community leaders started looking for a place and programs to keep kids in the area active, engaged, out of high-risk activities. You tell me every year you help between 500 and 600 children. Talk about the day-to-day operation as it exists right now.
Yeah, we had a group of individuals, concerned citizens, that looked that there were no programs that were affordable for kids in the Kootenai County area, just to keep kids active after school. So they established the Boys and Girls Club, and we actually got programs running in about the end of 2007. So currently we're serving over 500 kids a year in both Post Falls and in Coeur d'Alene. The one challenge is that we've been very fortunate. The community's support is to run programs out of some shared space, but that always poses interesting challenges as far as making sure that everything's taken care of at the end of the evening, and everybody has equal use of space. So we got the programs kicked off, running after-school programs at both Post Falls Church of the Nazarene and Post Falls, but also at Sorensen Elementary in Coeur d'Alene as well. And so it's been a slow-growing process. The interesting thing is when we first got into the community, there had been no Boys and Girls Club or programs like it. So a lot of the first couple years were just educating the community on what a Boys and Girls Club is. It's an affordable program, after-school program, mentorship by professional staff and trained volunteers, and from there we have just seen it begin to grow and grow. Matter of fact, last year we ran out of space, and we had almost 200 kids on a waiting list that were waiting to get involved in the program. So the demand has increased as we've seen some of the challenges in the economy as well.
And we've heard story after story as we looked at some of the specifics of the capital campaign to get the new facility built, but specific individual stories from children year after year that turn into adults that are business people in our community, that there was this one place that they went to as a child if they had an adverse childhood that really kind of gave them that concrete foundation to build from and build off of. I want to read to you a quote that you have on your website. It says, "During these difficult economic times, we've been very good stewards of the money that people have invested in our club. We're now ready to move forward with the vision cast by the initial board in 2006 to provide the youth in Post Falls with a facility." Talk about what is happening right now, and if you can, kind of react to your own quote that I just shared with you.
Yeah, it's been a very, very exciting process. Is that we started a capital campaign at really even before I came on board, about 2005, 2006, and it was slowly beginning to gain momentum. And then in October of 2008, with some of the crisis that took place in the economy, we chose to deal with the youth head on, and rather than push for a capital campaign and risk getting the facility open and run the opportunity of maybe not being able to fund that, is that we took an approach of let's serve kids where we're at right now. Let's be fiscally responsible, make sure that we're managing our money well, and grow slowly. And the community has appreciated that. And I always look at the philosophy of we never ask for donations. People might send donation in, but I always look at it as an investment, because the community invests money into the young people. And, I tell people that you never know what the stock market's going to do, and gold and silver and all those different pieces of investment, but you do know that when you can invest in the life of a young person, you're going to definitely see some results. It might take time, and it always varies, but it's a very exciting opportunity.
Well said. Let's look at what is going forward. It was back in January. Boys and Girls Club of Kootenai County Board of Directors voted January 12th to reduce the size of the club facility originally planned at 19,000 square feet down to 8,800 square feet, and then build this year. We do have some renderings that you have shared with us. Walk us through the facility as it has now been voted on and what is expected to actually go down in the community.
Well, the exciting thing that even since January we've been able to, with some of our investments that have come in, people stepping up to the plate is we've been able to bump that up to 10,000 square
Great,
feet.
so that's a modification then.
Yeah, so the facility will be about 10,000, a little over 10,000 square feet. It'll be at 200 Mullen Avenue. It's right behind the library in Post Falls and right across the street from the alternative high school and the Kinder Center there. The one thing that we found is Boys and Girls Clubs are most effective being neighborhood based. And where that particular facility is going to be built, you have 2 middle schools, 2 elementary schools, an alternative high school, and a Kinder Center within walking distance, so that's a lot of foot traffic that you don't have to worry about providing busing, kids getting picked up by their parents, or trying to walk a long distance to get there. But it'll contain a gymnasium, an activity center. There'll be a learning center, a technology center. One of the very exciting things is it'll have a separate teen center. So in the back of the facility will be a teen center specifically to cater to those junior high and high school kids. We found
that could be such a difficult time. So to have that specifically devoted to them, as we look at the specific floor plan that you were just outlining verbally, having that specific niche to help teens when they're having trouble, when they're trying to figure out how to navigate life circumstances. I imagine that was the impetus behind that specific portion of the program.
Absolutely. We found that you start to hit that junior high age, you get into high school, you don't necessarily want to be with the younger kids.
We've all been there, Ryan.
Absolutely, absolutely. And so really being able to provide that and run specific hours, extended hours, and specific programs for the teens will be crucial. The other piece is on that particular property when we build, we've incorporated the opportunity to expand 3 additional classrooms or larger size rooms there too. So I am very confident that we'll see that growth very, very quickly once the facility's open. The groundbreaking itself is scheduled for May 9th at 4:30 in the afternoon, and the builders, Poland Young, anticipate it being done directly after Thanksgiving. So we will be in by the end of the year, and I have a very strong inclination that when we hit 2013, that 500-600 number will definitely creep up closer to 1,000.
And that's
kids.
okay with you?
Hey, we are okay with that.
And talk about the naming of the facility.
We were very, very blessed. We had a group of investors that stepped up. There was a young man, 15 years of age, named Jordan Johnson, and his sister was playing college basketball. He was on a trip with his parents and had a sudden cardiac arrest, passed away right there in the hotel room, and was one of those young men that was very influential in the community. He was always there to give everybody a high five. He was always there to encourage people and was an incredible athlete. Once he had passed away, we got together and said, really, this is what we're trying to develop in a Boys and Girls Club. A kid that cares about his community, that's active. And so we were fortunate enough to have everyone's blessing, and we're actually naming the facility the Boys and Girls Club of Kootenai County Jordan Johnson Center. So it's just kind of an opportunity to be able to share what he did in his life, but also just to be able to encourage young people to get out there and get in the community. And his parents, his mother, and his 2 sisters, his 2 brother-in-laws, are very active. They're very supportive of the club. Matter of fact, his brother-in-law's on our board, and it's been very exciting to see that family invest and take hold of Boys and Girls Club, and really we couldn't do it without them. So, well,
Ryan Davis, Executive Director of Boys and Girls Club Kootenai County, thanks for coming on the show and sharing the big plans. And I can tell for you it's not just a job, it's a passion.
Absolutely. Eat, drink, breathe, sleep, Boys and Girls Club.
I like your thinking.
Get kids taken care of.
Thanks a lot, Ryan. Appreciate you being here on the program. We're going to take a break. You're watching Invest Northwest. We're back in a minute. Well, looks like good news for fans of sports and events in Spokane this week. Early results show taxpayers you're choosing to foot the bill to help expand the Spokane Convention Center and Spokane Veterans Memorial Arena. Right now, KHQ's Blake Jensen tells us what this means for the venues.
Well, Sean, good morning. It is indeed good news for anyone who enjoys sporting events and large conventions being held here in Spokane. At this point, it looks like Measure 1 is passing, and if that happens, that would approve expansion for both the Spokane Convention Center as well as the Spokane Arena. Now, if passed, the measure would approve a 10-year extension from 2033 to 2043 on sales and hotel and motel taxes. That money would then help pay for 91,000 square feet of new space added to the convention center and would add seating to the Spokane Arena, with the total cost for those projects estimated at about $65 million. Now, the Spokane Arena would add about 750 new seats, which would put the basketball capacity of the building at 12,500 people, and that capacity meets the minimum standard to hold men's NCAA basketball games here in Spokane. Along with the arena and the expansion of the convention center, the Spokane River Shoreline and Centennial Trail would also see improvements on the north side of the expanded convention center. Now, the whole goal was to try to keep Spokane competitive when it came to selecting cities to hold major events, such as the men's NCAA tournament, and supporters of Measure 1 certainly think that will be the result. But along with that, the other positive impact of this project would be the jobs that it brings to Spokane. By 2013, it's estimated that about 400 construction workers would have new jobs working on this project, and by the time it's completed, estimated 800 new jobs would be available in both the hospitality and real estate industries. Reporting in Spokane for Invest Northwest, I'm Blake Jensen.
And that'll do it for us here on Invest Northwest. I'm Sean Owsley. Thanks for always spending a portion of your Sunday morning with us here on the business program as we highlight some of the best stories in our economy in our region. Have a great day, everybody. Meet the Press is next.